Single dad Janitor ignored the guard's orders, but he was the only one who could save her. Marcus Webb pushed his mop across the marble floors of Riverside Medical Center at 2:47 a.m., the same time he'd been doing it for 3 years. His phone buzzed. A goodnight text from his daughter Emma. "I love you, Dad. Don't work too hard." He smiled, pocketed it, and continued toward the east wing. That's when he heard the scream. It came from the old research wing, the one they'd been renovating for months. Marcus dropped his mop and ran, his worn sneakers squeaking against the polished floor. "Stay back!" Security guard Patterson thrust out his arm, blocking the hallway. 2 other guards flanked him. "Building's unstable. We've got structural engineers coming. Nobody goes in." "Someone's in there," Marcus said. "We know. Protocol says we wait for..." Another scream, a woman's voice. "Help, please! The floor's giving way!" Marcus tried to push past. Patterson shoved him back. "You deaf? I said stay back. We lose our jobs if we let anyone in before the engineers clear it. She could die, and you could die too, Webb. Then who takes care of that little girl of yours?" Marcus froze. Patterson had him there. Emma was only 9. Her mother had left when she was 2. Just walked out one day and never came back. It was just the 2 of them. He couldn't risk leaving her alone, but that voice kept screaming. "How long until the engineers get here?" Marcus asked. 20 minutes, maybe 30. Marcus closed his eyes. He thought of Emma. Then he thought of her coming home from school 3 weeks ago, crying because her teacher, Miss Rodriguez, had spent her lunch period helping Emma with fractions when everyone else had given up on her. He thought of Emma's face when she finally understood, how she'd said, "Miss Rodriguez never gives up on me, Dad." The voice screaming in that building, it sounded young, like someone's Miss Rodriguez. Marcus looked at Patterson. "I'm going in. The hell?" "You are..." But Marcus was already running. He heard Patterson yelling behind him, heard footsteps following, but he was faster. 3 years of mopping these floors meant he knew every shortcut, every side entrance. He burst through the research wing service door. The smell hit him immediately. Dust, chemicals, something burning. Emergency lights flickered. Ahead he heard crying. "Where are you?" he called. "Here, 3rd floor. Room 347. Marcus took the stairs 3 at a time. The building groaned around him. On the 3rd floor, cracks spider-webbed across the walls. Room 347's door hung at an angle. Inside, a woman in a white coat clung to a desk pushed against the wall. The floor in the center of the room had collapsed, leaving a gaping hole down to the darkness below. She was maybe 30, terrified, mascara running down her face. "Don't move," Marcus said, keeping his voice steady. "I'm coming to get you. The floor, it keeps cracking." He could see it. The section she was on wouldn't hold much longer. The desk was the only thing keeping her from sliding into the pit. Marcus scanned the room. His mind calculated angles, weight distribution, 3 years of moving heavy equipment through these hallways, understanding load-bearing walls, knowing which floors could take his industrial buffer and which couldn't. There, the support beam, still intact. "Listen carefully," he said. "In about 10 seconds, I'm going to slide that filing cabinet toward you. When it gets close, you're going to grab it. Don't think, don't hesitate, just grab and hold on. Understand?" She nodded, shaking. Marcus braced himself against the doorframe, hooked his foot around the filing cabinet, and shoved with everything he had. It scraped across the floor. The woman grabbed it just as her section of floor gave way with a thunderous crack. She screamed, dangling, but held on. Marcus pulled. His shoulders burned. His hand slipped on the metal. Behind him, he heard Patterson and the other guards. Finally catching up, shouting. But he couldn't stop. He pulled harder, dragging the filing cabinet inch by inch back towards solid ground. The woman's fingers were white on the metal. Marcus locked eyes with her. "Don't let go. Stay with me." One more pull, then another. Finally, she was close enough. Marcus lunged forward, grabbed her wrist, and yanked her onto solid floor just as the rest of room 347 collapsed into rubble. They lay there gasping. Patterson appeared in the doorway, face pale. "You could have died," Patterson said quietly. "Yeah," Marcus said, "but I didn't." The woman was crying, clutching his arm. "Thank you. God, thank you. I was working late trying to finish the trial data before..." She stopped, looked at him. "Wait, I know you. You're Emma Webb's father." Marcus blinked. "How do you..." "I'm Dr. Sarah Chen, pediatric oncology. Emma's been on my trial list for 3 months. She was crying harder now. "The experimental treatment for her leukemia. I was here tonight finishing the final approval paperwork. If I hadn't filed it by Monday, she would have missed the window. She would have..." The words died in her throat. Marcus felt the world tilt. "What did you say?" "Your daughter. Emma Webb. She has acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Her school nurse flagged it 6 months ago. The hospital's been trying to reach you, but the contact information was wrong. We finally got the right number last week. Didn't anyone call you? Marcus's phone, the cracked screen, the missed calls from unknown numbers he'd ignored because they were usually debt collectors. No, nobody told me. Dr. Chen grabbed his hands. She needs treatment, immediately. This trial, it's her best chance, maybe her only chance. And if I hadn't finished this paperwork tonight, she looked at the rubble behind them. You didn't just save my life, you saved hers too. ABA 3 months later, Marcus Webb pushed his mop across the marble floors of Riverside Medical Center. Same hospital, same shift, but everything was different. Emma was in remission. Dr. Chen's trial had worked. His little girl was going to live. Patterson walked by, gave him a nod. No longer the hard-ass security guard, just a guy doing his job. Morning, Marcus. Morning. In his pocket, his phone buzzed. A text from Emma. Love you, Dad. You're my hero. Marcus smiled. Heroes, he'd learned, came in all uniforms. Sometimes they wore scrubs, sometimes they wore security badges, and sometimes they carried mops.